I'm afraid of the dark.
A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. Good thing there's still some power in the circuit.
Boss, shouldn't you have thought of that before coming down here? We could have been stuck.
I could have just ridden you back to the deck.
Really?
No. Routing that much power to your maglev unit would cause it to explode.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. I couldn't find a working fuse to solve the problem.
I'm a floating bomb. I'm a floating bomb. Sweet.
It couldn't hurt to bring the gospel of man with us.
Going to pray for a miracle, boss?
We are man's miracle, Crispin. Let's hope that's enough. I can't pick that up.
So that's where you keep it.
Why were you looking for my plasma torch?
No reason.
The controls for this hatch are unresponsive. Time for a little welding.
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be.
The generator is missing a spark plug. A small lump of electrically conductive putty. How would that even work? How would that even work? The generator is missing a spark plug. There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it. Let's cut a little cable off. How would that even work?
So, what exactly do we need to fix the generator?
Some conduit and a new spark plug. How would that even work? Futile. The conductive putty is stuck on the end of the cable. The conductive putty is stuck on the end of the cable. There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it. No need to cut it again. futile. How would that even work? The generator is missing a spark plug. I don't want to get that dirty. Some very sticky grease. Hey, Crispin, want a bath?
You sure are chipper, boss, given that we're slowly dying out here.
Let's see if this works.
Is that a spark plug, boss? Who locks up a spark plug?
Actually, I think that box was some kind of machine.
You killed it!
Recycled it.
Whew! I thought we were in trouble when Big Ugly stole our core. But just like that, problem solved.
The problem is not solved.
Well, I agree. The noise leaves something to be desired.
This is an emergency generator, Crispin.
Well, it was an emergency, boss.
It only runs for a few days, if that.
Oh. Well, do we have another one?
No, which means it still is an emergency.
Well, in that case, first dibs on the recharge station. So, what's the plan, boss?
We need to recover our power core.
Or we could just take the train to Metropole and live in luxury.
First of all, there is no train to Metropole. And second, even with full charges, we can't just walk there. But more importantly, I hate that city. It's in my core logic. I don't know why, but I can't change it.
Okay. In that case, can't you just make us a new power core?
Yes, but I need some kind of strong energy source for that.
And you just make one of those too? I'm just asking.
No, but somewhere around here are the plans for an energy sensor.
That's awfully convenient.
I designed it a long time ago, before I made you. I even found a sodium iodide crystal to use in the sensor, though man alone knows where it's buried now.
Why do you keep asking me to figure things out? I'm just a sidekick, boss.
We're fine on energy, for now. I've never been able to figure it out. I don't need any of these right now.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Join us, and together let us begin Primordia. Weary wanderers, come, join us in Metropole, city of glass
I bet I can find a
and
better
light.
use for this plug.
Our energy
But now we can't listen to the sweet voice of Metropole.
I guess that makes two birds. Nothing more to do with it. There's nothing I can do with it until I have some kind of power source. The original designs for Crispin.
Hey, there are arms here! And an awesome set of tractor treads!
I went with a maglev unit instead, and I never could find good arms. It's Crispin's to-do list. Funny how it never gets any shorter.
That's your fault, boss, not mine.
I found this in the dunes. It reads, pound pastrami, canned kraut, 6 bagels, bring home for Emma. There's the design. I'll put the keynotes into my data pouch.
How does it even work?
The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. The cable carries the pulse to the computer. The computer decodes the information and displays it on the monitor.
Boss, where are we going to find a working computer?
The Unique is full of them.
Oh, right.
The only way I can use this is by plugging something in. It fits, but there's no point unless I connect the plug to something else first. A simple computer interface with a socket for connecting external hardware. It needs a sodium iodide crystal to be useful. Better just to leave it alone. It's just scrap.
I wanted a gumball.
I can't move this without some kind of crane, which I certainly don't have time to build now. I can't pick that up. Nothing worth salvaging. There's no way I can reach that.
That's way too big for me to get, boss, and you know it.
The sensor needs to plug into a computer, not a monitor. A Quentin Questron LCD monitor. There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it. I've never been able to figure it out. I doubt that will have any effect.
I still don't see why I don't get a bed.
Because you have a flat bottom to rest on.
Looking at my bottom, are you, boss?
I can't pick that up.
I still don't see...
I don't need to bring these with me. There's no reason to cut that. This is no time for sitting around. This isn't the time to test out the telescope.
Strange cloud.
I can't just...
I don't really want to try that. Is that really the best idea you can come up with, boss?
Crispin, could you reattach that engine to the unique?
Very funny, boss. How do you lose a crystal, boss? If I had one, I'd attach it to my head.
That's why I put it somewhere you wouldn't find it.
You can't hide something shiny forever. Boss, did you ever consider that sometimes I just run out of clever ideas? I don't really want to try that.
An old captain's chair. I moved it here from navigation. A large observational telescope.
I don't really... That piece of sheet metal really ties the room together, boss.
I've read enough. It's the gospel of man.
Hey, boss, what do all these buttons and switches do?
I think there's some sort of defense mechanisms, but I can't figure them out. It's the Unique's recharging station.
That is where our power core should be shedding its light silently.
I don't think that would be wise.
Wow, first the power core and now a rag. This is not your day.
I don't think that would be wise.
That's crazy talk. That's...
I don't need that. I can't pick that up.
That's crazy talk. I salute the flag of Horatio's clumsiness. Boss, sometimes a builder just has to let his creation figure things out for himself.
I'm your builder, Crispin.
I know. That's what makes this particularly sad.
The only way I can use this is by plugging something in. It needs a sodium iodide crystal to be useful. Futile. A simple computer interface with a socket for connecting external hardware. A simple computer interface with a socket for connecting external...
Ah, the charms of a diesel generator.
What was I thinking, leaving all my lanterns up there?
I'm not doing that until you build me some arms.
I can't see anything to do with it. I picked it clean years ago. It's just scrap. There's no time for that. It's just scrap. It's locked tight. It's reinforced steel. Better just to leave it alone. It's still locked.
I'm not doing that until you build...
It's just scrap. There's nothing worth bothering with.
How about this time you go play fetch, boss?
crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. There needs to be some kind of connector between the crystal and the cable. The cable carries the pulse to the computer. The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. The computer decodes the information and displays it on the monitor. A mysterious list I found in the dunes. A mysterious list I found in the dune. The generator's up and running. The generator's up and running. I've tried patching this a dozen different ways without success. An old captain's chair. I moved it here from navigation. There's no reason to cut. An old cap. This is no time. This isn't the time to test out the telescope. The telescope control panel. There's a display for entering topographical coordinates. I found this in the dunes. It reads, pound per... It's Crispin's to-do list. Funny how it...
That's your...
The original designs for... The energy sensor requires a sodium iodide crystal connected to a cable, which in turn needs... There's no reason to cut that. There's no reason... That record player was a good find, Crispin.
I still think you should have let me have its arm.
I'm pretty sure that arm came from a sewing machine. On second thought, maybe I should have let you have it. Good old Crispin.
That is where our power core should be shedding its light silently.
There's nothing I can do with it until I have some kind of power source. Yet another reason that besotting robot should be reduced to scrap. There's no reason to... There's no reason... Some rotted alloy support beams.
Now, I'm not a fancy engineer like you, boss, but it seems like the Unique isn't gonna fly without its tail on.
The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. Plans for an energy sensor. That would be sacrilege. There's no reason to cut that. A Quentin Questron LCD monitor. The sensor needs to plug into a computer, not a monitor. There's no reason. That's never going to work. No need to cut it again. I doubt that will have any effect.